Good morning, everyone, and welcome to InsureTalk number 41 here on the 18th of April. My name is Christelle Coleman, and it's my absolute privilege to be your host today. Well, it's not just the number 41 of InsureTalk episodes, but also our 4th birthday party. So around about this time of the year, 4 years ago, the world went into shutdown, and sometimes I have a little bit of, it's an unpopular opinion, but I've got to reminisce a little bit about those days because it was just a time to take a breather. And while the rest of us were getting used to working from home and getting used to Teams and cameras and all those things, the team here at InsureTalk came up with this incredible idea to start an online conference. 4 years later, the world is sort of back to normal again, but we managed to keep some of the good things with us. If you're fortunate enough, like we are at AMI, we work in a virtual environment. Conferences stayed with us, the virtual conferences like InsureTalk. And for many of us, this is a format that works extremely well because it is so convenient. Not just for you as the attendees at the conference here today, but also for our speakers. So again, on that note, I want to say welcome and I want to say happy birthday, 4 years, to the team, the wonderful team here at InsureTalk. So this is our birthday edition and that's our theme as well for the day. We've got a number of people supporting us. And as always, we have a wonderful lineup of speakers. I often talk about being a speaker at one of these conferences, and I know to you as an attendee it looks like someone's just sort of, throwing together a few slides and coming to talk to us, but it's not the case. Our speakers spend many hours to prepare themselves. For many people, the thought of talking to 3,500 or 4,000 people is quite intimidating. So we just want to again express our gratitude to our speakers and our sponsors who make these events possible each month. Yes, and as always, we have a number of fantastic speakers with us today. It's a nice mix of digital innovation, process automation. We've got a speaker that's going to talk to us a bit on ChatGPT. But first up, we have a friend of InsureTalk. Anthony actually spoke at our InsureTalk Live event last year. Anthony Miller is the CEO of Simply. Now, he's going to talk to us on the democratization of group risk cover. And before I hand over to Anthony, and I just want to mention as well, we are able to host these conferences each month, and it doesn't cost any of you a cent because of our sponsors. So each and every one of us must be grateful to our sponsors because they make this possible. And our event partner today is actually Simply. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Simply. If you want to know more about Anthony, you can go and look him up on LinkedIn. But Simply is a disruptive digital life company. And they are on a mission to secure the financial futures of millions of people. They offer life, disability, and funeral insurance that meets people's needs in a way they understand and at a price they can afford. So on to this interesting topic, I hand over to you, Anthony. Thanks for joining us. Good morning, everyone.
Thanks very much, Christelle. Thank you. Yeah, it's a privilege to be here, guys, and thanks for your time. I must say it is quite intimidating to talk to so many experts in the field. Certainly ramps up the pressure. What I'm going to be talking about today is what I see as an important future in life insurance for brokers and providers alike. So I'm just going to make sure I've got my slides up. Hopefully you guys can see that. And in particular, what I've called here the democratization of group risk cover. So I'll get into the details, but I see this as a really significant opportunity for individuals in South Africa, but also for brokers. And I'm going to talk through why I think that is over the next 25 minutes or so. There is a Q&A section in the bottom of your Zoom screen. So please feel free to pop questions in there. And if I can, I'll answer them as we go. Thank you. Cool. So really the theme of my talk is, despite the fact that we have a very developed life insurance market in South Africa, by world standards, not only by African standards. We have a lot of insurance penetration, and yet we have a really problematic life insurance cover gap. And what that practically means, and I'll get into more detail, is that for most people, if the breadwinner in their family dies, they're not going to have the money that they need to continue living at the level that they would be living otherwise. My sense is that the way to solve that is by making group risk cover far more broadly available and to give it much more flexibility so that individuals can access better value cover through their employers than they can access on their own. I really think that this is imminent. I'm going to talk about why I think that is. And then finally, I'm going to give you a very brief case study of our experience in South Africa trying to get this right. So that's really what I'm going to be covering today. And as I say, talking a little bit about why I think this is a really interesting opportunity for brokers and intermediaries. Cool. So to share some data, this is data that's a little bit out of date. It's 2019. So you could probably grow this by about 30% to get to a view for 2024. But really the point is that we've got, well north of 100 billion in annual premiums being collected, but about 40 of that is in retail funeral cover. So very extensive penetration of retail funeral cover, significant market, but despite that, not the penetration of life cover that you'd expect for a market like ours. And what this means is that we do have the significant cover gap. So if you look at, this is from the ASISA Insurance Gap Study, but if you look at the cover gap as it stands, you can see that the gap in cover, in other words, the shortfall in cover that people have, is particularly concentrated amongst the more vulnerable people in our communities. So as you look through the kind of wealthier segments, the cover that they have in place is closer to being adequate. So we have a real challenge in the bottom 60%. And as you can see, although it's relatively a smaller amount in rands, it's a far bigger gap in terms of percentage. And actually, interestingly, because it's a smaller amount in terms of rands, it's potentially a really good opportunity for us to address a huge social need here. If we can find a way to close the gap in those poorer 60% of earners, we can change people's lives really substantially. Something that's really interesting also to look at is the value for money, or the kind of efficiency of cover of different categories of cover. So if you look at the rand per 1,000 rand sum insured per annum, retail funeral cover is by far the most expensive. There are lots of reasons for that. One of the reasons for it is the fact that distribution is very expensive. Churn is quite high. People are often buying stuff that they can't afford. Many people have multiple policies, and as a result, insurers need to price this stuff at a high level in order to make it sustainable. There's also lots of fraud because claims need to be paid quickly. If you compare that with the amount of cover that you can get in different products, small retail life policies, medium retail life policies, large retail life policies, substantially better value for money. But interestingly, even in small groups, the value for money that you can get per 1,000 rand of cover is literally 10 times more efficient than you can get through retail funeral benefits. So my sense is that if we as an industry can find a way to shift people from retail funeral spend to group spend, we can really make a material impact on people's ability to protect their families going forward. And this has been something that's been tough in the past, but increasingly, there are a whole bunch of things that are making it possible to do so. Another thing that's really interesting in that context is the penetration of group risk insurance is essentially zero in small and medium-sized businesses. So if you look here, this is data from 2019, 2020. You can see that very large employers and medium employers, so basically businesses with more than 50 staff, the penetration of group risk cover is quite high. Why? Well, it's mostly been sold by intermediaries. They're paid commission. The commission on group risk is regulated at really low levels, in my opinion. And also, the process for providing group risk cover is quite cumbersome and quite laborious. And so you've got this situation where for brokers particularly, so independent brokers particularly, but even for agents within organizations, the amount of work that's needed for the reward just makes it kind of unviable to target these medium and smaller businesses. And as a result, it's not something that has ever been pursued in South Africa. So we've got very, very low penetration amongst SMEs, and actually SMEs account for probably 60% of formal employment in South Africa. So yeah, a huge opportunity, but it's going to need a paradigm shift in the way things are done. And in my opinion, I think the opportunity is to get into that space now. So then, how do you do that? Well, in my opinion, we need to widen the group risk net. In other words, make group risk available to a far broader group of employees. And secondly, we need to make benefits more flexible and more relevant in order to enable employees to access the cover that they need or the financial services that they need via these group schemes. So two primary categories. One, what I've called widen the net or leave no employee behind. There's a huge number of employees within organizations who just don't have access to group cover. And the result is that they're buying very expensive retail funeral cover in order to meet at least what they perceive to be their needs. So in my opinion, we need to, as an industry, use technology and really innovative product design to make it possible for all employees to access group risk cover. So if you look at where we're coming from and where we need to go to, currently group risk is pretty rigid with high minimums. So if you're in an organization with 4 staff, making jacuzzis, it's really difficult to get cover for your staff. In fact, it's difficult to get financial services for your staff. Even things like savings are really challenging. So you've got rigid products. The sales process is pretty manual. So in order to get the data from an employer to an insurer or to multiple insurers takes a long time. You get quotes back. If you want to change them, you need to follow the process again. There's lots of admin for employers. If someone leaves or someone joins, you need to update your schedule. You need to get your beneficiary nomination form sorted out, et cetera, et cetera. There's very limited cover for non-traditional employees. For example, gig workers, contract workers, temps. This is a huge part of our economy now. How do you look after those kinds of people? And as I mentioned earlier, the economics have been unattractive for brokers. So what do we need to move to? Kind of the opposite of that, obviously. We need to move to flexible policies with no minimums. We want fully digital solutions. Why have paper beneficiary forms, or why require employees to write down the names on paper of the people that they want to cover on their policy? We need low admin for employers. So think of a 2,500 person hospitality business with 500 people churning a year. Can you imagine the admin associated with giving those guys 20 grand funeral cover each? It's a huge amount of admin for the benefit. In fact, the people costs probably equal the premium. We need purpose-built cover for non-traditional employees. So think about our agricultural industries where people only work for a season. How do you cover them while they're picking? How do you cover them when they're not picking? And then finally, we need a kind of easy sales and support process so that the economics suddenly make sense for brokers. So that's what we need to do in order to make this net far wider. And then secondly, provision of individualized benefits. So if you're a high net worth individual working in a corporate, you've got pretty individualized benefits. You can flex up your disability cover from 3 times annual salary to 10, or life from 5 to 10. You can flex up or down the disability cover that you get. But for blue collar employees, often they get what they get and they can't complain. And those are actually the guys that have complex financial services requirements. So if you look at the market, who are the people that have multiple funeral policies because they're responsible for family members who are no longer able to earn? It's typically the lower income earners. So this issue that we have at the moment is partly a function of products designed for developed markets being employed in emerging markets, or in our emerging market here in South Africa. Our application processes, our admin processes are still very paper-based, which adds a lot of friction to providing these kind of benefits. And in many cases for employees, the only alternative are expensive retail benefits. We've seen cases where employees have as many as 18 or 19 policies from our big South African life providers. So what do we need to move to? We need to move to cover options for each individual, which are relevant for them and relevant for South Africa. We need an integrated digital onboarding process to make it easy. Why have paper flipping around organizations when everyone's on WhatsApp? Most people have a smartphone. We need to shift on and make the stuff easy for employers to provide. And then, without going into kind of all the other detail, we need to simplify the admin associated with these things. Technology's moved. It's possible to make this stuff easy. And interestingly, this individual top-up opportunity, I think, creates really good opportunity for intermediaries, because if you think about what's shifted in the market over the last few years, we've seen organizations like Capitec and Absa and other innovative players in the bank space, and similar players in the telco space start taking significant shares of this market. Why? Because they've got trusted brands, got access to employees, and they can offer great value for money. By providing product to employees through their employers, you can go in there on a trusted basis and give them cover that they can't get on a retail basis anywhere, let alone at the same price. So to me, it's a great opportunity for brokers to really stay relevant and also to add really great value to individuals. So this is really back of the envelope numbers, but if you believe the numbers that I shared earlier, if we could, as an industry, shift 20% of retail funeral spend to group spend, and actually all that's needed in order to do that is for employers to facilitate that. They don't even have to pay for it. We could narrow the life cover gap by as much as 2 trillion rand. If you think about who would actually participate in this, it's mostly that lower 60%. So in theory, by shifting spend from retail funeral to group, we can really make it, an enormous difference, closing the life cover gap by as much as 50% in those lower income segments, which, if you think about it, is pretty remarkable. So it's a huge opportunity. I think it's a huge business opportunity, but I also think it's a huge social opportunity for us to think about. Okay, so why do I think that this is possible? Why has it not happened in the past? I mean, on the one hand, a lot of people have made a lot of money selling retail funeral benefits. It's something that's top of mind for people. And people are, obviously very kind of rationally self-interested when it comes to business. But there are also a lot of reasons why it's been tough to provide group benefits to employees in, those hard to reach businesses. And I think these are a bunch of factors that are going to drive and enable change, over the next few years. I'll get into a little bit more detail, but firstly, acceleration of enabling technologies. I mean, for those of us that are, techies, we know that technology is literally kind of doubling in capacity, doubling in capability every 2 years. That makes amazing things possible. Someone later is going to talk about ChatGPT. I mean, it's absolutely amazing what that enables. Secondly, increased consumer demand for personalization. People are just so much more aware of what other people have or what's available out there, and they want something that fits them. People are different. They understand that. The next is progressive regulatory shifts. I think there are some regulatory changes that would make a huge difference in this space, and certainly government is thinking about this, quite hard at the moment. The third is that we've got these new flexible worker categories who are going to become a bigger and bigger part of our workforce, and they are going to demand benefits in order to work for different employers. Employee attraction and retention. It's easy to attract and retain bad workers. It's hard to attract and retain good workers. Benefits are a very big part of attracting and retaining good workers. And then finally, South Africa has been going sideways for a long time. There's increasing cost pressure. We need to be innovative about how we do these things. So I think these factors together will conspire to drive significant change in this space. All right, so to dig a little bit deeper, I'm not going to dwell too much on this stuff, but just some examples of the enabling technologies. Think about where we were 10 years ago versus now. So proliferation of connected smartphones and comfort with e-commerce. I mean, all you need to do is to go to a taxi rank, for example, to see everyone on WhatsApp and Facebook and Instagram and probably TikTok now to realize how this has shifted. Cloud native architecture, so modern architecture, enabling apps to communicate with other apps, both within and outside of organizations. And then access to specialist platforms and bureaus, which means that providers don't need to do it all. You just need to be very good at one thing, and you can enable an ecosystem that does the kind of stuff that we have in mind here. Increased consumer demand for personalization. And I think I mentioned this earlier, but the reality is that South African employees have very different obligations relative to others. And that differs a lot from person to person. And we need to be thinking about that. If we're not thinking like that, they are going to have to buy their stuff on a retail basis, often at crazy high prices relative to the actual cost of risk that they're getting. And then finally, employees don't value or want to pay for generic benefits. So, linked to the point that I'll discuss in a minute, retention. If you feel like your after tax pay is lower because you're being kind of deducted, or you're having your pay docked for benefits that you don't appreciate, it just actually creates resentment. Progressive regulatory shifts. I think there's more that can be done here in South Africa. An example is the group commission regulations. I think some careful thought applied to group commission could be a complete game changer in this space. I really do think that there's a huge opportunity to unlock value for employees. New flexible worker categories, I've chatted a little bit about that. It's huge in South Africa. I'm based here in the Western Cape. Farming operations often have pickers that come in for a season. They're exposed to machinery. How do you cover those guys in an easy way? It's not expensive. And there's a lot of pressure on those employers to offer benefits to those staff. Employee attraction and retention. As I mentioned, attracting quality employees is key. One of the benefits of individualized benefits is that people really can get what they need, at a price and in a form that they can't get on a retail basis. So funeral cover, for example, via a group policy can literally be 85% cheaper than retail. Individuals can access cover even if they have HIV, because in the group, there are free cover limits. They can access occupational disability benefits, which they can't get retail. So not only can they save significant money, but they can access benefits that they can't otherwise. If you have those kind of benefits in an employer, you're going to think really hard about moving elsewhere, unless the other employer can match that. Okay, so that I'm rushing through this a little bit, and I'll get to the questions as soon as I can. But as simply, my partner and I, when we started the business, decided things needed to be done differently. We really wanted to find a way for the actual cost of risk to come down, and for premiums to be paid, so that if someone dies or becomes disabled, the benefits are there. Staff cover, for me, to a large extent, this democratization of group risk, in my opinion, is the best way to achieve this in South Africa and in other markets. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what we've done and what we're seeing in South Africa. As Simply, Simply is a small player in this market. We're doing innovative things, but I think there's room for many players to be targeting this opportunity. So a little bit of background on Simply, the product. It's a fully digital product, very focused on these markets that we think are unserved. So up to 2.5 million Rand of life and disability cover and 50,000 Rand family funeral cover. Policies are very inexpensive, starting from as little as 7 Rand per employee per month. literally minimum size of one. So we have sole proprietors as clients, we have big organizations as clients, and the minimum ZAR premium for the whole group is only 299 Rand. Our thinking here is really there needs to be a policy to fit every business. Following COVID, where there was a lot of mental health issues in South Africa, there were a lot of mental health issues in South Africa. We've introduced an employee wellness program, and then some other kind of differentiators, very much targeted at making this doable for both employers, brokers, and employees, is integration with cloud-based payroll systems and information bureaus, and two, we try to handle as much of the member admin as possible. So things like collecting beneficiary nominations or lives covered on family funeral benefits, we take responsibility for a lot of that. So it makes it super easy for employers to sign up and for brokers to sell and service these kind of policies. We've done close to 3,000 policies so far, typically around 15 members per scheme, although that's growing as we target larger organizations with lower income employees. Around 95% of these schemes are new schemes, so the thesis that it's an untapped market is certainly true. And then when it comes to business sold by brokers or business, acquired by brokers, the take-up rates and persistency are extremely high. So it's great quality business. People pay the premiums. When there's a claim, the policies are up to date and people get paid. It really is a TCF kind of inclusive type of product. And as you can see, by insurer standards or insurance technology, insurance provider standards, the feedback that we're getting from social media, the likes of Trustpilot, Hello Peter, etc., is positive. And I think the benefit of these kinds of group policies is there's a lot less fraud, and premiums are paid. So you have a lot, fewer issues at claim time. Okay, so next I'm going to show you very briefly what the sign-up process looks like as a broker for a staff cover policy with Simply, just to give you a sense of how different it is to the stuff that you may have seen in the past. And I'll talk through it as we go. So this is basically the process of getting a quote. So it's a few different factors that are required. Then integrate with payroll. So this is a link through to the person's payroll system, putting in their details. This essentially gives us permission to access all the employee data directly from the payroll system. It brings through the structure of the employer. So the employer can actually do the policy for whichever part of the organization they want. Something maybe just to pause on here is that the quote is customizable. So this is not an estimate. This is an actual quote. So as a broker, you can sit with the employer and agree with them exactly what they want. And this is a very effective mechanism for dealing with employers, because they feel like they're constructing the policy with you as the intermediary. That policy is then, that quote is guaranteed for 30 days. This is an example of the actual sign-up process. So we integrate with bureaus in the background, an increasing trend globally, which means that for the employer, a lot of the information that's needed in the policy is actually pulled directly from source, which means that the information is available at the time of the sale, but also it's captured correctly because you're populating it directly from things like bureaus. Okay, so it's literally a page of information that's kind of specific to the policy. You can see the various fields are validated in order to ensure that the information is correct. Some important T's and C's. So these are the things that we feel employers need to be aware of. It's OTP based in order to ensure compliance with the processes and that we have an audit trail around that. And that policy is now in place. So, it really is as simple as that. It means that as a broker, you can go from start to finish, literally, meeting with a client and leaving with their staff covered, in one meeting. So for us, it's a game changer. It's something that we think is going to be very normal in South African financial services over the next few years. Cool. And these are just some examples of the kinds of organizations that we cover and the type of feedback that we've had from our customers. Some of our customers are, for example, farming organizations where we've paid as many as 10 or 11 claims over the last 5 or 6 years, or 4 or 5 years. And particularly for bigger businesses, the fact that the payroll integration takes care of a lot of the stuff around updating the insurance schedule, ensuring that we reconcile on a monthly basis with their payroll. We collect the beneficiary details, etc. It is a real game changer for organizations looking to cover their staff. Okay, I mean that's me in terms of the prepared presentation. So I'm going to have a quick look at the Q&A questions now and see if I can help with any of these things. Okay, Ina Duplessis. So fraud in the insurance world and funeral cover so high, can flexibility in products and cover work? I think that's a good question. In my opinion, one of the benefits of covering people through employers is that you have almost a second line of defense on fraud. So in order for there to be fraud, typically the employer and the employee need to be complicit, which makes it harder. We also do try to capture all the information at source about the organization directly from SIPC. So there are some factors that we take into account here in order to try and minimize fraud. I think one point, though, that's important to make is that from a product design perspective, you need to be quite thoughtful about what the rules are and that it's not too easy to kind of game the system. So not fraud, but understanding the rules and then buying a product in a way that claims are paid, when you didn't anticipate that kind of claim, being covered. Andrew Stearnslow, good question. I think that's the truth. The issue is that providers are financially driven and fairly so. My sense is there's a shift coming. If you look at the way that direct players are kind of increasingly disintermediating the intermediated players, things need to be done differently. And, in my opinion, I think the opportunity to do the group risk and then kind of upsell the individual benefits at least makes group more viable, than has been the case in the past. So certainly this is one of the challenges and one of the reasons why I think a review of group risk commission would go a long way in enabling this and still making group far better value for money than a lot of the retail options. Just going through the questions. So Fred Harcher, who will pay? That's up to the employer, Fred. I mean, we've seen cases, in most cases, because the costs are relatively low, in many cases, employers pick up the cost of the compulsory benefits, but they do have the option, obviously, to share that with the employees as they see fit. And same on the individual benefits. Typically, the individual benefits we'd see being passed through to the employee because they would otherwise have to pay for it on a retail basis. But it is possible for employers in certain cases to pick up some of that. For example, if you want to take some benefits, I'll pay half, you pay half. That would be completely up to the employer. Just looking at some questions here. Andrew, another question from you. Underwriting is actually superfluous. No, I don't think so. I think products need to be designed to be viable and sustainable. So, for example, in our product, and I presume this is the same for other product providers, below a certain number of employees, there is underwriting in the process. Sorry. So below a number of below a certain number of employees, there is underwriting, and I think products are going to need to be designed as we go to meet people's, requirements accurately and sustainably. Sorry. Sorry, I'm just trying to get back to the Q&A, a bit tricky to follow here. Yeah, so I think there's a lot still to be done in this space. I don't think we've necessarily got the answer, but in organizations where there are 100+ staff, it becomes very easy to make it possible for people to get way better cover than they can get on their own. Llewellyn, just checking time. We're just about out of time. Llewellyn, the life cover or even funeral cover for seasonal employees, I mean, it's something that we certainly haven't sorted out yet. I mean, what we do have with the system is the ability to cover seasonal workers while they are employed. So with payroll integration, in our case, as long as someone is on payroll, they are covered for bigger organizations. Coming up with ways that they're covered between seasons is something that we haven't dealt with yet. I see it as a big opportunity, not something that we've covered, but certainly it's an opportunity. And I think if someone can crack that, it really is a great opportunity. Guys, I think I'm gonna stop there. If necessary, I can share some information on these questions, and the organizers can potentially distribute those. They're just quite a lot of questions, and I'm running out of time. So I'm just going to check quickly with the producers how much longer I can go here, but I think I'm going to be getting some pressure now to hand it over.
Anthony, thank you so much for joining us again. It's really awesome to have you back here on InsureTalk, and a very relevant topic to what we are discussing here today. So we really appreciate you taking the time to join us. Next up, staying with digital innovation, tech innovation, we have a very interesting talk on the practical implications, or practical applications, I should rather say, of AI, mainly ChatGPT, for small businesses and brokerages. So really talking to our audience here today. Now, Warren Wheatley is the founder and CEO of Altvest Capital. I want to tell you a bit about Warren because he's got a very impressive CV, and I won't go through everything in detail. But at the moment, his current role is, as I said, the founder and CEO of an investment platform called Altvest Capital. Altvest provides equity and debt funding for SMEs using crowding funding in a listed environment to do so. So it's a very interesting concept, and certainly an individual who I know for a fact is very well versed on the topic that he's going to share with us today. So over to our specialist talking to us about the applications of artificial intelligence.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you. InsureTalk, thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be addressing this crowd. I just want to check, can everyone see my screen?
Yes, we can, Warren. Thank you.
Fantastic. To the team, guys, I am talking about AI and ChatGPT this morning. Just a quick qualification. I'm by no means an expert. I have been dabbling with this, and I found it extremely useful in my own business and in my own life. And I thought I would just share a number of tips and show you guys how I use the platform. Just to get a sense of the extent of usage, I'm going to ask the team to put up a quick poll. If I could ask everyone to please indulge me and just answer 3 quick questions, it'll just help me position the presentation a little bit better. All right. Having said that, I just want to give a quick introduction to Altvest, what we do. you could consider us structured finance practitioners for SMEs. Now, that sounds like an overkill, but we provide SMEs debt and equity funding. From an equity funding perspective, we have found a mechanism to provide crowdfunding for SMEs, where SMEs can access public markets and actually, using our listing license, have listed equity that your customers and the retail public can participate in your equity raise. We also do debt funding, where we fund working capital, asset finance, and also energy and water solutions. So that's Altvest Capital. Where does my insurance come in? I've got quite a deep history in insurance, and we look at insurance from the perspective of a financial needs analysis once we talk to the various SMEs that we're working with, and try and provide insurance solutions where those are needed. So I'm very happy to be in a room filled with so many professionals. And thank you for having me. So the way I'm going to talk about the plan today is to just give you guys some sort of insights into what we do. As I said, we are a credit fund primarily, and we also provide equity. So we look into fund brokerages, small financial planning businesses, wealth managers, asset managers, brokers, and we are able to help and sit down with you as a business and figure out your financing needs, and then also your insurance needs. But back to the presentation, an introduction to AI in insurance. The previous speaker mentioned, but there is a technological revolution happening in the industry. It's undergoing profound transformation driven by AI, which is artificial intelligence. And this is, if used effectively, can be used to enhance efficiency and customer service. I'll give you guys some working examples of how this actually happens. Smart automation, AI integration, and AI integration into your platforms, into your systems is a bit more difficult, and you probably need to engage with experts. But I will also give you guys some tips as to how you can use it without having to engage professionals or experts in it. But it's more than just automation. It can signify adaptive learning systems that provide unprecedented insights into your business. Also, from a customer servicing perspective, I think is where this can really enhance your business, your speed, and the efficiency of your brokers and your businesses. AI paves the way, indeed, for the way personalized customer interactions and innovative risk assessment methods. And it just has revolutionized how insurance businesses should be operating. All right, just a reminder, if there are questions, you can please put them up in the chat. Sorry, not the chat, in the Q&A box. But let's kick off with what is ChatGPT. Just trying to get out of the chat box. All right, what is ChatGPT? Now, I cheated a little bit because I put this straight into ChatGPT, and this presentation in itself was drafted and collated by and curated by ChatGPT. So as an example, I asked a question, draft a presentation for InsureTalk, where I will discuss harnessing AI and ChatGPT for small insurance brokerages. ChatGPT responded, sure, I can help you create the structure for the outline of your presentation, and they go on and do that. That took ChatGPT 10 to 20 seconds. what then was left for me to just review the presentation, import it to PowerPoint, and then get our graphics guy. It saved me probably 2 hours of work just using ChatGPT. Now, ChatGPT is one of many protocols that use AI as a tool for businesses, individuals, and that kind of thing. Like I mentioned, I'm not an expert, but I am becoming more and more proficient in the various tools. There are many. Elon Musk has created one called Grok. There's an AI tool called Claude, and many others. I think one of the best tips I can do is to just get involved and start doing it. That's what I found, really. So why ChatGPT matters for small brokerages? Customer service and support. One of the easiest things you can do is having automated chatbots for 24/7 customer service, handling common inquiries, policy explanations, and initial claims processes. I just want to stop. I want to stop the presentation at this point, just to give you guys a quick demo. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just go into ChatGPT. ChatGPT is on a platform called OpenAI, and I'm going to share my screen. So quite simply, you would go to the OpenAI website, and there's a little block that says login or try ChatGPT. All right, and this pops up. How can I help you today? So the demo I want to do today is the following. I was recently renewing my insurance policy, and I received a policy. I was issued a policy by my broker, and you can just grab that policy and drop it into ChatGPT. It loads, and now I'm going to pretend I'm a broker, and I'll tell ChatGPT that I am an insurance broker and have recently gotten a new client and issued the attached policy. Please draft a welcome letter, and in that letter, summarize the policy. And you quickly, you give it the work to do. It's always dangerous doing a live demo, but let's see what happens. All right, so you guys get a sense of how quickly this thing works and what it can do. One of the things as a business you could do is you could start training AI to understand your business, understand your practice. All your policies can be put into the machine. The AI will learn the policy, it will understand the clauses and everything else regarding the various policies and processes. That can then be turned into a bot that helps customers, where they can go online, type in questions. As an example, putting myself back into the customer position. Does the policy cover me for fire damage. Right, so that's a very clean and crisp explanation from the bot. And what's amazing to me, at least, is that this policy has had the AI bot has only had the policy for a few minutes and is already understanding the detailed contents of it. As the policy gets consumed more and more by the artificial intelligence, it gets to understand the policy better and better. Now, this is the kind of functionality that can be used in many different ways. If you work in the finance division, you can put in the management accounts and ask it to write a full report on the position of the business. I have seen a question. One of the things to say, yes, this is the paid version. And I'll give you guys just an indication, to continue looking at it, at what else ChatGPT can do. So you can explore the various GPTs and you can have a look at the various things it can do. You can generate images. My son and I spent probably 3 hours on the weekend turning family photos into animated cartoons. He loved it. You've got a data analyst where you can input member data, your insurance claim histories, all those sorts of things, and ask the AI to analyze the data. And the better you prompt the machine, the better the output. So it really is it's a case of the more detail you provide the tool, the better the output. So you could ask it to highlight trends in a claims history. You could ask it to analyze whether the premiums are correct or at the correct level, or to identify sets of data that are increasing the risk pool, etc. It also is able to create, you can ask it to create communication on almost any topic. For example, let's just do another one. Draft a note on the implications of the two-part system. Now, once you start playing around and getting a sense of how quick this is, you start realizing just how more efficient this tool can make your business, how more efficient you can start communicating with members and your customers. For those who haven't tried ChatGPT or any of the other tools, I would urge you to do so as quickly as possible. Otherwise, you're going to be left behind. There's a lot of concern that this is going to render a lot of people jobless or unemployed. I don't think so. I think it's just going to create a better kind of work environment, a better workforce. But to do that, you have to be able to be proficient in using the various tools. There's a number of different applications, and the tool itself is getting smarter and smarter every day. There's estimations that by the year 2030, AI will be smarter than any individual in the world. But, my advice would be just get stuck in and get going on it. Are there any, I want to just go into the Q&A to see if there are any pressing questions. So the version I was demonstrating is the paid version. The free versions provide a lot of the applications, but not many. So ChatGPT does give you basic functionality, but to get the full experience, the paid version is the way to go. I recently took out 5 subscriptions for my 5 analysts, and we pay around 3,000 per month, but the efficiency it's introduced has made it completely worth it. Back to the presentation. So there's a number of items that we can still talk about. We did customer service and support, where you can draft letters, welcome letters. The AI can do, respond to inquiries, and all of these can be automated. And the more information about your business, your products, and policies and procedures you feed into it, the smarter and smarter it gets. It should be able to answer almost any query on policies if you feed it into the machine and get the machine to start understanding the policy. Other applications, you can use it for claims processing, where a customer can submit a claim through the AI bot, and it starts automating and completing claim forms. It also starts drawing the information from various sources. Risk assessment and underwriting, again, data analysis is one of the things it does best. Training and knowledge sharing, just the speed with which it can respond to queries and interrogate information and help you communicate with your team and also your client base is absolutely revolutionary. What I found most useful is the ability to communicate with our customers and the ability to draft newsletters, memos, financial needs analysis, all those kinds of things we found has saved our team hours and hours on a daily basis. And it's going to be interesting to see just how useful this tool is going forward. What it does do, some of the downsides is, particularly for a young analyst with not much experience, it does lend itself to that analyst not doing the research, not doing the learning themselves. And so, that needs to be guarded against, because it's just so easy to get a response. It's just so easy to not understand. And because AI is new and a lot of the topics are still new and it's learning every day, you do need that background education or knowledge to be able to review the outputs thoroughly. The cool thing about it is once you start introducing changes or correcting errors, the machine just keeps learning and learning. So eventually, after a few iterations, it gets the information perfect. All right, that's it. It was a quick demo, quick discussion. I really want to get some discussion going, and happy to start taking questions. All right, I've got Ricardo. Surely it works best on its input. One has to constantly feed it constant knowledge. That is correct. You do have to, but it is open source, which means that the program is learning from a number of different providers. There are business packages, Garth, and you can you choose the number of users. What is your legal liability for incorrect info generated by the chat? Unfortunately, they don't take any legal liability. And as the practitioner and professional, that was the point I was making earlier, is that you need to be able to review this in detail. A lot of times, and you've got to be quite specific, particularly if you're working across different legal regimes or different jurisdictions. So you've got to be quite specific. So if you're querying an issue on legislation, be specific that it's legislation in South Africa. And if you can, name the act number and year, and the better your inputs, again, the better the outputs that happen. The average monthly cost per person, I think, I need to be corrected. It's probably around 250 per person in rands. Can it translate a document into Afrikaans? I don't know. Why don't we try that? All right, so just what we're doing now is there's a question about can it do translation? So let's see. I've never tried this, so I'm very keen to see what the response is.
Unknown caller.
All right, I'm sure we all appropriately impressed. Translating a letter would typically take somebody 2 or 3 hours. And this just, my Afrikaans isn't good enough, unfortunately, to check the grammar and that kind of thing. But I don't know if there's anyone online who can, have a quick look and see if it's a good base to work from at least. How secure was put in, so a few more questions, but as Claessens, how secure is putting clients' info into it? There are still many learnings around this. And I would have that checked by your IT providers. Also, from our perspective, we have paid for a secure version where the information is particularly contained within our IP environment. But those are all issues that you would need to have checked and that kind of thing. There's a lot of interacting information, whether it's a contravention of POPI or coffee and all the various things. So it is worthwhile if this is being implemented at as a business tool. It is worthwhile checking out these things and employing an expert to implement it. My presentation today, as I mentioned, is not from a capacity as an AI or ChatGPT expert, rather just sharing personal experiences as to how I use it to make my day and my activities more efficient and effective. Right, I think I've dealt with about just about all the questions. Happy to hang around. I think I've got a minute or two more. All right, I've got a Jacqueline Taylor. How about translating the letter into one of the other official languages? Let's see. Okay, so what we did now is we ask him to translate that letter into Pedi. All right, Jacqueline, that deals with your request. It seems again, my Pedi is not fluent enough to to review this with any I can't review it. I'm not sure if there is anyone online who could do a quick glance and see if it makes sense or if it's done properly. Thanks, Palesa. All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for your time. And thank you again to InsureTalk. Just finally, I want to wish InsureTalk a very happy 4th birthday. Thank you for the opportunity. And I hope all of you lean in, download the various apps, and get cracking. Thanks everyone for your time, and Verona and team, thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you, Warren. You know, we were talking at the start of this show this morning, or conference this morning, about how the world changed with lockdown and COVID and all those things. But my goodness, did we see a fundamental shift with ChatGPT. And also, I just find it so fascinating how, you know, those of us who were early adopters, I like to pride myself on being an early adopter of any technology, can now spot a ChatGPT piece of writing like it is one massive big red flag. And I think I mentioned this before or I posted about it on social media. But if your email starts with, "I hope this email finds you well," everyone knows ChatGPT helped you to write that email. So please don't do that. But Warren, thank you. That was a fantastic and fascinating take on the topic, and we appreciate you being here today with us. Now, every month, our CPD partner, the Insurance Institute of South Africa, gives us an update on what is going on at the IISA, the Insurance Institute of South Africa. We're very privileged to every month have Thokozile with us. Thokozile is the CEO, very well-known CEO of the Insurance Institute of South Africa, and she is going to give us a short update on what's happening over at the IISA.
In the world of business, setbacks and challenges are unavoidable. However, it is always important to remember that even in the face of adversity, there is always hope. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Today, I'm going to give you an update on the 2023 financials, key highlights now that their external audit has been completed. I will touch on the membership renewal. I will also touch on the CPD cycle coming to an end. I will then finish off by giving you an update on the AIE 2024, the 50th conference. Our gross income grew by 26%. We recorded a 20% growth in total assets. Our net surplus grew by 101%. The membership base increased by 18%. We also recorded a 93% retention rate. The membership satisfaction indexes based on the survey that we conducted last year also recorded positive results. The employee satisfaction index has also been satisfactory. There are areas of development, and we are working on those. Most of them have already been implemented or under implementation within the marketing and communication strategy. These results are an indication of the resilience of the business. It further indicates that with determination, with a focus, you can achieve good results. All this is coming on the backdrop of difficult years during the COVID era, but we have overcome. I want to say a big thank you to the ISA management team as well as the entire ISA family. We have overcome. We did it. We did it, and we are going to continue doing it. The 2024 membership renewal is coming up on the 1st of June. Being a professional member enhances your credibility and recognition. It shows your intentional investment in your continued development. As a professional body, we advocate for members' interests on various platforms. We stand up for members on matters of skills development. We represent members on various platforms and make sure that the voice of the profession is taken into account in many changes that are happening in the industry. We also provide resources to members. So professional members have access to resources that enhance their knowledge, enhance their skills base, and pretty much give you trends of what's happening around us, both locally and internationally, and also best practices. So keep a lookout. If you're a member, keep a lookout for the membership renewal communication. And if you're not a member, as I always give an opportunity, take the opportunity to become a member. Visit our website and click on the button that says become a member, and take the opportunity to set yourself apart and denote that you are an expert in the profession. The CPD cycle is coming to an end on the 30th of May. So make sure that you have recorded all your CPD activities that you have embarked on right through the year. The resources that are mentioned that we make available to members are CPD accredited. Also, as a member, you have access to free webinars that we host as ISA. You also have free access to seminars. Another way of earning CPD hours is attending the conference. The conference provides thought leadership content that is put together after a rigorous process of research and checking the latest trends in the industry locally and internationally. That content at conference gets delivered by experts, subject matter experts in various fields. The content at conference addresses all areas of the financial services sector, live and non-live. It also positions the industry to be ready for what's coming up in the future. The knowledge that one gains at conference is beyond comprehension, and is an opportunity in the 3 days that we are at conference. One, you acquire the knowledge. Two, you have an opportunity to secure meetings that ordinarily would take you 6 months or longer, but you're able to have those within the 3 days, and you're able to secure relationships, long-lasting relationships. We have started sharing speakers that will be coming up at conference, so keep a lookout for that and take the opportunity to register. The exhibition is oversubscribed. Sponsorship has been overwhelming, and a big thank you to the support from the industry. We appreciate it. The registration is already over 60% of our target. So if you have not registered, take the opportunity to register now and don't miss out. Register now before we close registration. Now with that, I want to close off by saying resilience, determination, focused approach are key to the success of an individual as well as a business. And once more, I want to say a big thank you to the ISA family for the good results that we have delivered. Without each and every one of you, we would not have done it. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the rest of the webinar, and do take the opportunity to register for conference and become a member. I will see you soon.
Hi everyone, my name is Tubelo Botutwane. I am your conference facilitator for a third year in a row at the Africa Insurance Exchange 2024. Now this year we're celebrating a 50th year in existence, live in Sun City from the 21st of July to the 24th of July. Now you can attend in person or virtually for all our delegates who will be joining us online. This will be all under the theme of Foundation, Foster and Fearless. I look forward to seeing you live in the city from the 21st to the 24th of July for AIE 2024.
Thank you, Thokozile, and as always, very excited about the African Insurance Exchange. Something interesting for all of our participants out there this morning. The organizers of InsureTalk also are involved in organizing the African Insurance Exchange, and that's why it's always an unbelievable event to attend. We know that there's a few seats still available, so if you're still thinking about it, you've got a little bit of time, please make sure if you can that you join us at the AIE this year at Sun City. The next regular slot on InsureTalk is Rianette Whitehead from the FA News. Rianette does a superb job of giving us a media update. She's the co-owner and the editor of FA News, and of course, she is the Insurance Apprentice the person sitting, the brainchild behind the Insurance Apprentice. We know today is the finale. It's a very big day for the Insurance Apprentice as well. So thank you, Rianette, for finding time to join us today and give us our regular monthly update on the news in the industry.
Good morning, InsureTalkers. And thank you for the opportunity to have a quick chat with you. First priority, happy birthday, InsureTalk. May you continue to keep us in the loop, educate us, and help us stay abreast of industry issues. Well done on a major achievement. You are doing good work. Today is a remarkable day. We are also celebrating with InsureTalk our 10 years of changing lives with the finale of the Insurance Apprentice Season 10 tonight. I am so happy that we moved our time slot to the evenings. Now people don't have to make a difficult decision between attending InsureTalk and watching the Insurance Apprentice. So you will be happy or sad that today I'll be stop talking about TIA for a little while, maybe at least two sessions before I remind people to start entering again. Tonight, we will know who the winner of Season 10 is. And if you have missed it, the three finalists are Mandilaki Marikani from Emerald, Temwa Nyerenda from Santam, and Reinhard Schneckler from Hollard. So it's a bit of a Santam versus Hollard battle by the looks of things. Please support these guys tonight and watch the finale live as we announce it on TIA YouTube and Facebook at 6 p.m, not 7 p.m. as per our usual time slot. we have massive plans for TIA going forward, of which one is a significant increase in prize money for the winner. But hopefully we'll be able to share a little more detail about that soon. So if that is something that will make you change your mind about entering or not, get ready to enter. Over to some news. A reminder that you have around 43 days to complete your CPD for this cycle. 43 days is shorter than you realize. So please commit to it and do it. Don't slow everyone's systems down by tackling it on the 30th or the 31st of May. I assume most of you have started playing around with ChatGPT for quite a while now, and it is starting to understand you and your questions and your writing style better every day. I've most certainly enjoyed the interactions with chats, and I'm teaching it to talk my talk. A basic copy and paste with whatever I want to do with it is obviously out of the question, but it is giving you a guideline on some of the things you are thinking about and want to talk about and write about. I was busy compiling a topic list for the June edition the other day, and although we have most of the answers and on the questions I asked chat on hand, it remains interesting to see if we haven't missed anything important. My question was, what are the biggest challenges brokers and financial advisors are grappling with in the South African financial services and insurance industry? I got an answer consisting of 4 paragraphs. Yes, I know there are actually a lot more than 4 paragraphs, but what I found quite interesting was that it placed a source next to each paragraph, and 3 of the 4 paragraphs had FA news next to it. Did chat just please me because it knows that it's close to home, or will that pop up if others also ask the exact same question? Keen to know, so if you have time, ask chat and send me a note. A recent trip to Vegas with Alexa in the hotel room also opened my eyes to what AI is capable of and how personal it can get. I won't repeat what I asked and said to Alexa and what her response was, but it most certainly gave me a glimpse of what the future holds, and it was a little bit scary. A recent conversation based on this with a few people in the industry has led to a comment by not only one person, but by a few. We are talking about AI and the crazy things we can expect. But the reality is that many of our IT systems does not even work properly. How do you draw that line? It's basics we often cannot even sort out. Clients often still battle to get the basic stuff from insurers. So I think there's still a lot of work to be done before we get too excited about AI and its real impact on our industry. In fact, I'm keen to know, on your list, insurance professional, broker, underwriter, claims manager, compliance manager, what are you most concerned about? For us as an industry, do you worry about climate change or environmental insurance issues? Or is it more cyber challenges and its possible impact on your clients and a bigger issue for you? Or wait, the lingering transformation and equity conversations and our companies have to comply and meet targets? Or is it AI after all? The other option is, of course, to just put your head in the sand and focus on your daily tasks because you feel you cannot really make a difference on any of these fronts. Reality check. All of these things has an impact on all of us. Read, stay in the loop, understand the implications. You will be impacted on some level. Despite all of this, we work in a great industry who helps people, helps the economy, and we know that this industry will always be relevant. So the important part is make sure you always remain relevant. And one of it is obviously by attending things like InsureTalk and read the FA News, probably preaching to the converted. Thanks for your time. Enjoy the rest of the session and don't forget to tune in at 6 p.m. on TIA YouTube or TIA Facebook tonight. For the ladies, my MC for the night is Nico Benaggio, host of Survivor SA. Because after all, this is probably like a corporate survivor, hey? So don't miss out. Any burning issues, anything you would like us to investigate, write on in FA News, please drop me an email. Always keen to hear from our audience members and from our readers. And always a privilege to be part of InsureTalk. This is me, Rianette Whitehead, signing out.
Rianette, thank you so much. Oh, and such an exciting day today. So we wish you and the contestants very much great success for this evening's event. Now, we have a bit of a tradition here at InsureTalk. We ask some of our past participants on the conference, some of our sponsors, our viewers, as I can say, out there, to send us some birthday wishes, and then we put that together in a little compilation. But today is special because we also have Nonnie, a previous MC for a long time, many years here at InsureTalk, and the very first MC, who's my husband, Simon, who sent us a special message. The last time he swore in the message, so I hope you, the producers, got him a little bit under control this year. But we're going to have a little bit of entertainment now with the birthday wishes. And again, from my side to the team here, happy birthday on 4 years. What a wonderful achievement. Let's have a look at the messages.
Good day, InsureTalk. It's Shemaine from PSG Secunda. I want to take this opportunity to really thank you. I've been watching InsureTalk since 2021 and I've never been disappointed. You always provide the most relevant information and speakers that applies to our industry. Thank you. With that said, a very happy birthday and here's to the next year of InsureTalk.
Hi InsureTalk team, congratulations on your 4th anniversary and for creating this very informative platform for the insurance industry. I'm Wimpy van der Merwe from Global Choices. I've attended almost all your sessions, and the one that stood out for me was Nikki Bush sharing her horrific crime incident, the loss of her husband, and a reframing of her life. Thank you for creating this very insightful medium, and we wish you many more years of success.
Happy 4th birthday InsureTalk. From its humble beginnings during the 2020 lockdown to becoming a beacon of innovation in the insurance industry, your journey has been nothing short of inspiring. Here's to the incredible team behind InsureTalk, the passionate sponsors and the attendees who have made this journey possible.
Hi, I'm Joannette from Joannette Brokers. Happy birthday, InsureTalk. I hope the rest of the year is joyful and lots of success. And thank you for the great sessions and the sharing. Enjoy your day.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, InsureTalk family. 4 years and 41 editions later, and you guys still continue to make magic happen in the industry. Your impact is undeniable in the industry. You've really reshaped how thought leadership is done, how knowledge is shared in the industry, and for that I'm incredibly proud of what you've done. I wish you nothing but all the success in the world. I know that you'll continue to grow and thrive and flourish in your space. So happy birthday, and wishing you many more. Cheers.
I was in my 40s when InsureTalk started, and I'm now in my 50s. How time flies. I've been lucky enough to attend every InsureTalk, and I remain convinced that insurance is the bedrock of our society. Every episode of InsureTalk has shown the resilience, the innovation, the contribution that the insurance industry, all of you, make to our country. Thank you very much, InsureTalk, for keeping us connected, for keeping us informed, helping us to learn. a happy birthday to you, and to all my colleagues and friends in the insurance industry, wishing you a wonderful rest of the year.
Hi everybody, wishing InsureTalk a happy 4th birthday on behalf of Santam Specialist Solutions.
Hi everyone, wishing InsureTalk a very happy 4th birthday from SHA Specialist Solutions. Can't believe it's already been 4 years. Congratulations on what has been a very successful story. You guys certainly bring your part in bringing education and learnings to a lot of the people out there, not only in the short-term side but also on the life side. Just an amazing platform, and really congratulations for all the hard work that you put in.
A huge thank you to the InsureTalk team. I think, having started during a time period where we were trying to connect people, I believe this platform and this team really connect our industry, bringing insightful news and information around changes in our industry, trends that are happening, but more than that, introducing the market to the incredible talent that we have. So InsureTalk, well done. It's been absolutely fabulous to watch your sessions, and it's something that we here at SHA Risk Specialists and Santam Specialist Solutions really encourage our people to join month on month. Have a great birthday, guys.
Happy birthday, InsureTalk. I don't think you realize how important you've been in pioneering and normalizing live CPD webinars. What actually started out as an experiment in the pandemic, happy to say I was involved with that, has turned into the only way that people continuously develop their professional skills in our industry. Well done, CN&CO team, and happy birthday.
4 years and flying. Congrats, InsureTalk team. Look forward to more content, sessions, and amazing people. All the very best.
Happy birthday, InsureTalk, celebrating 4 years of success. Congratulations. Very, very well done from Sebastian Derry at the IIKZN. Wishing you everything of the best, onwards and upwards from here. This is where the magic happens.
Happy 4th birthday to InsureTalk, here from Marcia Leroux at SSB Worldwide. It's been a fantastic opportunity and privilege to be part of InsureTalk as a speaker, sharing thought leadership and being part of this insurance family. We wish you all that is wonderful for the year to come and can't wait for more thoughtful discussions and collaborations with the InsureTalk family. God bless.
Hi, my name is Shivani Keshav and I am currently the president at IIKZN. On behalf of the Insurance Institute of KwaZulu-Natal, I would like to extend a warm congratulations to InsureTalk on celebrating their 4th birthday. Wishing you and the team many more years of success.
I just want to give the InsureTalk team a massive shout out. My name is Blake Dyson, the founder of the Insurance Directory, and I've been following InsureTalk from the beginning, right in lockdown, and it's just been amazing to watch this platform grow and the community around it grow. And so just want to congratulate Llewellyn and the InsureTalk team on amazing work. Just from the topics and content to building this community that's just growing, and I think our industry really needs a platform where we can transfer knowledge and share lessons learned and new trends, and InsureTalk really fills this space, and obviously big bonus of getting CPD points for those that need it, and an amazing platform for brands to be able to market. So well done, an amazing achievement, and I can't believe how quick 4 years has gone, and I think this is just the start of many other exciting projects under the InsureTalk banner. So well done team, and I'll be supporting you for the next 4 years.
Hey, InsureTalk, this is Colin Ford, wishing you a very happy 4th birthday. Looking forward to many more.
4 years on and going superbly strong. From your friends at AMI, we just wanted to say congratulations, happy birthday, and well done. You guys play an absolutely pivotal role in the industry, from continuous professional development to upskilling this beautiful industry we call insurance. So well done, here's to many more, and thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Simpiwe Makangane, your IIG Media Past President and the COO at Howden Broking in South Africa. I just want to send out huge congratulations to the InsureTalk team for 4 years of success. I think the growth in your following on the InsureTalk platform is a testament of the caliber of the speakers and the topics that you have had on the InsureTalk platform. A huge congratulations to you and thank you for your contribution to the industry. Feels geluk, maatjies. Happy birthday.
If there's something that I've learned about our industry is that we've got some jokers out there and some funny people and people with passion and people who are committed and loyal. Those are some of you who are on the videos just now, so we really appreciate you, this community of InsureTalk that's grown so dramatically over the last 4 years. So on to many more years doing this. Thank you for sending in those videos. They were amazing. As always, we have a little bit of a break coming up. Time to stretch the legs a little bit, get some water, coffee, tea. And another tradition here is to support local talent through the artists that we invite onto the InsureTalk edition each month. This started way back when, during the days of COVID, when the entertainers were not able to go out and do what they do best. So today we have Mpilo Maish, a versatile and award-winning South African actor, writer and musician based in London. We've got talent all over the world. His theatrical highlights include playing William Shakespeare in Shakespeare in Love and Bernardo in West Side Story. He's currently recording his first EP, which will be available on streaming platforms by the end of 2024. So let's see what we have in store for today. Thank you.
Greetings, my name is Mpilo May, and welcome to InsureTalk. I'm very happy to be with you today. I am an actor, writer, musician. I'm based in Cape Town and London, and I'm going to be singing 2 original songs and 1 cover for you today. This first one is called Let's Call It Quits, and it's about a couple who sit in the nostalgia of their relationship but know that they need to break up. Holding on, you and me. We keep fighting, but we're trying, so let's see. Don't let go, hold me close, you and me, so let's see. Who are we? Can't believe all this time has passed. I thought you'd never leave. Float away another day. Please stay with me. We can't pretend it's not the end. Your love is an eclipse. We're holding on, but it's all gone. The words are on your lips. Ooh, oh, let's call it quits. Oh, let's call it quits.
Oh, let's call it quits before it hurts too bad. Crumbling from within, we keep smiling, but we know we'll never mend. Please let go, oh, let go, my friend. Je t'aime. Broken down yet again. All this bickering, it highlights all our sins. Just let go, my heart of stone. Can't you see, we'll never be. We can't pretend it's not the end. Your love is an eclipse. We're holding on, but it's all gone. The words are on your lips. Ooh, oh, let's call it quits. Oh, let's call it quits. Oh, let's call it quits before it hurts too bad. Oh, let's call it quits. Oh, let's call it quits. Oh, let's call it quits before it hurts too bad.
I'm going to be playing you a cover song which you should recognize, and this is my version of Ain't No Sunshine. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. She's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away. Wonder this time where she's gone. Wonder if she's gonna stay. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and this house just ain't no home anytime she goes away. And I know, 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 I know. I ought to leave the young thing alone, but ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Only darkness when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. And this house just ain't no home anytime she goes away. Anytime she goes away. Anytime she goes away. So I always love leaving people with a feeling of joy at the end of my time. And so this song is called Goodbye Now. It's another original song. And you should be able to hear this song on my upcoming EP, which will be released this year sometime. I've had so much fun being here, so thanks for having me. You can follow me on Instagram at mpilomay on all social media platforms as well.
sitting by the seaside, watching the waves go by on the horizon. What do I see? Silhouettes of my fears. I said goodbye now. Go to sleep. You have no business talking to me. I said goodbye now. Go to sleep. I have no business talking to thee. But then a bad man in my head said I would falter till I was fed with the scripture of mutual respect. I said goodbye now. Go to sleep. You have no business talking to me. I said goodbye now. Go to sleep. I have no business talking to thee. Love, 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 love your neighbor. Love your neighbor like you love your bed. Ha ha! I said goodbye now. Go to sleep. You have no business talking to me. I said goodbye now. Go to sleep. I have no business talking to thee. I said goodbye now. Go to sleep. I have no business talking to thee. My name is Mpilo May, and it was wonderful to be with you.
Oh, South African talent, as I say, from all around the world. And we can be so proud of the people, the young people out there, building our South African brand. Okay, so we've kind of reached the halfway mark, and we're back to our speaker lineup. We have up next Kurt Groenewald. He's going to talk to us on the topic of how an integrated workflow platform in an insurance administration application manages business processes. I'm particularly interested to hear this talk because in our world of insurance, being able to manage your processes effectively through integrated workflow is something that's a real game changer. And Kurt is a director at Tisco Systems. He's very, very well versed to talk to us on this topic. He's got a fantastic background and career in his chosen field. He's a specialist in what he does. He brings 3 decades of profound expertise in the insurance industry, marked by visionary leadership and technical acumen. I'm not going to go through the whole of Kurt's background, but I think what makes him interesting, that in addition to his technical background, he's an avid glider pilot. He loves the exhilaration of flight. And his commitment to the 3 Ps, precision, purpose, and passion, underscores every line of code he produces, reflecting a holistic approach that integrates personal values into professional excellence. So on that note, we look forward to your talk, Kurt. Over to you.
Thank you, Christelle. Thank you for having me here. Let me start the presentation. First of all, good morning. It's nearly afternoon, everyone. Welcome to InsureTalk, where we delve into the latest innovations transforming the insurance industry. Happy birthday to InsureTalk, and may you grow from strength to strength. Please post any questions you may have for me during the talk in the Q&A section. It will enable me to answer your questions in detail after the session is completed. Throughout the talk, we'll explore key features of the workflow and business process management within a platform. And by the end, you will walk away with an understanding of how integrated workflow can transform your business and drive success in the dynamic landscape of the insurance industry, which we're all part of. Let's sit back, relax, and get ready to revolutionize the way you work. So if Ferrari had a strategy workflow, this would never have happened to Charles in Monaco. Box, box, stay out, disaster. So you hand your competitive edge to your competitor and you lose it. So the landscape of insurance administration has evolved significantly over the years, driven by technological advancements. We've been at the forefront of this evolution, pioneering the integration of workflow platform within an insurance administration system. I'm excited to share with you the transformative impact of a workflow platform in the insurance industry. So in the mid-1990s, while operating Avgen, a leading Lloyd's-approved aviation insurance brokerage, we encountered the need for an administration platform equipped with an integrated workflow module. Faced with the absence of such a system, we embarked on a journey of exploration and innovation. We discovered several systems out there, workflow systems, but unfortunately could not use any of these platforms and realized that our only option was to create our own platform, and we began laying the groundwork for what would become an integrated workflow platform within an insurance management or line of business system. So this is the original design drawing, and you'll see it right at the beginning or right at the center of this drawing is workflow. So everything integrates into this: policy management, claims, endorsements, your client management, your contacts, finance, accounting, document imaging, and it all integrates with Microsoft Office and obviously web client access. And you'll see there's a little drawing there that says fax. Yes, fax was big in the 1990s. So the key modules of an insurance workflow platform is business process management. This streamlines claims and underwriting processes, ensuring efficiency and accuracy throughout. Financial management, seamlessly integrating claims and underwriting related financials into the workflow, facilitating comprehensive financial oversight. Offering digital document storage with secure access, simplifying document management within workflows. Automating the application of rating and underwriting rules, ensuring consistency and compliance. Managing risk items, cover rules, risk acceptance limits, reinsurance, enhancing risk assessment and mitigation. All risk item attributes, which is your data fields, are locked for editing, and they will be unlocked when inserted into a workflow, increasing risk management, security, and audit tracking. Automating SASRIA cover and fee cover extensions, ensuring comprehensive coverage for all effective risks. It's got to be automated. Facilitating workflow task management with options for user-driven or system-driven task processing. Implementing printbot automation for policy documentation generation, streamlining document creation processes. Fully integrating with Microsoft Office application, which enables seamless document and creation and data exports. Enhancing client communication through automated SMS and email functionalities from within the workflow. So what comes with this as well is a no-code flow builder. Central to the platform's usability and flexibility is the no-code flow builder, empowering users to configure workflows effortlessly. This intuitive tool allows users to define workflow processes, assign tasks, automate actions without requiring programming knowledge or experience, applying changes on the fly. So your design considerations. Most important consideration is to keep it simple. KISS. A business process such as a claim job, a claim, or an underwriting process serves as the container for defining specific processes within a system. For example, within a claim job, various processes like motor vehicle repair or the replacement of a burst geyser process can be defined. Within a single business process, multiple specific tasks can be defined to manage different scenarios efficiently. These tasks can be tailored to specific events to ensure streamlined flow management. Business processes contain parameters that dictate how this workflow will interact. An example includes setting parameters such as reminder limits, which allow users to set diary entries within a defined number of days. Each business process is categorized into a specific type, such as a claim or a cover amendment or an annual review, a claim job, or a cancellation. These are just a few examples. Workflows within a business process can be either system-defined or user-defined. System-defined processes are automatically generated based on predefined events, such as database procedures, creating your annual review workflow 6 or 8 weeks before the renewal date. On the other hand, user-defined workflows are initiated manually, such as amendments to policies or cancellations, which requires user intervention. By considering these factors, organizations can create tailored workflows that streamline business processes, enhances efficiency, and ensures timely actions and responses within the insurance administration platform. This ensures the users comply with your standard operating procedures. So we get to the flow functions within a workflow. A flow function represents a discrete operation or task within a workflow that contributes to achieving the overall objective of that process. It can include actions such as data processing, decision-making, task assignment, notification triggering, or interaction with external systems. Combined within a specific workflow database, Combined within the specific workflow, database activities that perform machine tasks, validation is enforced to ensure compliance within the designed outcome of the workflow process. A flow function executes a specific task or set of tasks defined within the workflow. This could involve data manipulation, document generation, database inquiries, or API integrations. Flow functions often incorporate conditional logic to determine the next steps based on certain criteria or conditions. This allows workflows to adapt dynamically to changing circumstances or input variables. Flow functions may have dependencies on other tasks within the workflow, requiring certain prerequisites to be met before execution. Task dependencies ensure the sequential execution of the workflow steps and prevents errors or inconsistencies. Flow functions include error handling mechanisms to manage exceptions or unexpected outcomes during task execution. This may involve logging errors, retrying the failed task, or triggering alerts for manual intervention. So an example of a flow function is converting data from one format to another, performing calculations, or applying business rules to manipulate the data. Evaluating conditions or criteria to determine the next course of action, such as approving or rejecting a request, routing tasks to different paths, or escalating issues. Assigning tasks to specific users or roles based on predefined rules, workload distribution, or skill requirements. Sending automated notifications or alerts to users or stakeholders based on certain events or milestones reached within that workflow. Interacting with external databases, applications, or services to retrieve or update information, synchronize data, or trigger actions. The benefits are flow functions automate repetitive tasks and streamline complex processes, reducing manual effort and minimizing errors. By orchestrating task execution and decision-making logic, flow functions improve workflow efficiency and accelerate process completion. Standardizing workflows through flow functions ensures consistent execution and adherence to predefined business rules and policies. Modular design and reusability of these flow functions enable scalable workflow management solutions that can adapt to evolving business requirements. So, let's talk about the task execution. In the context of workflow management, flow functions encompass various tasks, including the execution of communication actions. Let's use SMS and email as an example. Here's how these flow functions operate within the workflow. So within the workflow system, tasks can be configured to trigger SMS messages to recipients, or similarly, tasks can initiate email communications to designated recipients. The content of these emails, along with any attachments, is configurable and defined within the workflow system. Both SMS and email content can be customized to meet specific communication needs. This includes defining message templates, incorporating dynamic variables, and tailoring the content based on recipient information or task details. The email functionality allows for the inclusion of PDF attachments as an example, such as claim forms, appointment letters, policy documents, enhancing the communication process by providing relevant documentation directly to the recipient. For email communication, users have the option to pre-fill the mail before sending. This feature allows for additional editing, ensuring the accuracy and completeness of the communication. While SMS messages are sent automatically upon creation, email communications can be configured for automatic sending and manual preview. Automatic sending just streamlines the process. In the world of business communication, WhatsApp has emerged as a game changer. Its simplicity and global reach transforms the way companies interact instantly with their customers. But the story doesn't end there. With the integration of a workflow platform, WhatsApp becomes even more powerful, revolutionizing customer relationship management. So stay tuned for the next chapter in this exciting evolution. So the My Logs is a feature that serves as a digital inbox for users, similarly to the physical inbox and outbox trays on a desk, mostly viewed in museums today. It enables users to manage electronic files or logs assigned to them for action within the workflow management platform. Users can view, prioritize, and take action on logs directly from their My Logs interface. Users can view essential details about the log, including the log number, the log type. Was this a claim? Is it an endorsement? Assigned task, insured associated with the log, and the business process category, which is an amendment or a claim job or an inquiry log. Logs are assigned to users based on specific tasks within that workflow process, and users can see logs assigned directly to them or logs assigned to other users but displayed in their My Logs for visibility. So each log is assigned a priority status, such as low, high, or critical, indicating its importance or urgency. Users can quickly identify and prioritize logs based on their priority status. The interface displays key information about each log, allowing users to assess their workload and prioritize tasks accordingly. Users can take various actions on logs directly from the My Logs interface, such as updating the priority status, marking the task as completed, or reassigning the log to another user for further action. My Logs also serves as that central navigation hub for users, allowing them to efficiently manage their workload and stay organized by providing a comprehensive overview of all assigned logs. An extension to My Logs is My Diary. So when a diary is set on a log by a user, it is moved from My Logs to the My Diary navigation hub. The Diary navigation hub works similarly in the sense that all logs assigned to the user with a set diary date are listed under My Diary. The diary entry can be set by the user for themselves or for another user to attend to a task when this diary date is reached and the diary expires. Details to the reason the diary is set can be added in the description to advise the user what will be required when the diary alarm date and time is reached. By default, all diary entries are also added to Outlook tasks when they expire to allow for an Outlook notification or balloon in addition to the internal notification. When the diary alarm is reached, the reminder is cancelled and the log moves back to My Logs automatically to the assigned user. Each reminder section in the log contains a comprehensive reminder history as an audit of all reminders set for the log. So how are escalation priorities typically defined and managed within a workflow process? Workflow platforms often allow users to define multiple priority levels such as low, medium, high, urgent, and critical. Each priority level is associated with specific criteria or conditions that determine when a task or issue should be assigned that priority. The criteria for escalating a task or an issue to a higher priority level are usually based on factors such as time sensitivity. Tasks that have approaching deadlines or service level agreement targets may be escalated to higher priority levels as the deadline approaches. Tasks that have a significant impact on business operations or customer satisfaction may be escalated to a higher priority level. Tasks that are important to key stakeholders or critical to the successful completion of a process may be escalated to higher priority levels. The workflow platform support the definition of automated timer escalation rules based on predefined criteria. These rules trigger the escalation of tasks or issues to higher priority levels when specific conditions are met. For example, if a task remains unresolved after a certain period of time, it will be automatically escalated to a higher priority level. In addition to automated escalation, users may also have the ability to manually escalate tasks or issues to higher priority levels when necessary. This allows stakeholders to intervene and prioritize certain tasks based on their judgment or any changing circumstance. The workflow platform provides visibility into the escalation status of tasks or issues, allowing users to track their progress and monitor any escalations that occur. This visibility ensures that stakeholders are aware of critical tasks and can take all the appropriate action to address them. So within a task is the workflow factor, which is linked and defines how a task is basically executed and performed. The workload factor often considers the complexity of the task, including the level of skill, expertise, or specialized knowledge required to perform it. More complex tasks have a higher workload factor as they may require more time and effort to complete. The estimated time needed to complete the task is an essential component in the workload factor. Tasks that require a longer duration to complete have higher workload factors, especially if they involve multiple steps, dependencies, or iterative processes. The workload factor may also take into account the resources required to execute the task, such as human resources or machine tasks. Tasks that require extensive resources have a higher workload factor. The urgency or priority level assigned to the task and its associated deadline can influence its workload factor. Tasks with higher priority levels or tight deadlines require immediate attention and therefore have higher workload factors to ensure timely completion. Balancing the workload factors across different tasks within the workflow is crucial to prevent overloading individuals or teams with excessive work. Workload factors help in identifying potential bottlenecks, redistributing tasks, and optimizing resource allocation to maintain efficiency. Workload factors may be determined based on both objective criteria such as task duration and resource requirements, as well as subjective assessments of task complexity and difficulty. Combining quantitative data with qualitative judgments can provide a comprehensive view of the workload associated with the task. So flow routing in a workflow platform refers to the process of directing tasks, data, or information through predefined paths or routes within the workflow. It involves determining the sequence of steps, decision points, and conditions that dictate how work items move from one stage to another until they reach completion. Flow routing begins with the assignment of tasks to appropriate individuals, groups, or systems responsible for their execution. Assignments can be based on various factors, such as user roles, skills, availability, workload, or any predefined rule. In many workflows, tasks follow a sequential flow, where each task is completed before the next one begins. The workflow platform ensures that tasks move from one stage to the next in a linear fashion, maintaining the predefined order of operations. In some cases, tasks may flow in parallel, allowing multiple tasks to be executed simultaneously or independently. Parallel flows are a more viable option to manage flow tasks that require to be completed simultaneously. So flow routing often includes decision points or branching logic where the workflow diverges based on specific conditions or criteria. These decision points determine which path or route a task should take next, depending on the outcome of a previous step or an external factor. Tasks may be routed conditionally based on certain criteria such as data values, user inputs, system events, or business rules. Conditional routing allows for dynamic and adaptive workflow behavior, where tasks can be directed along different paths depending on changing circumstances. An example where it is used is when a reinsurance limit is exceeded and facultative reinsurance is required before a flow may advance to risk acceptance. In iterative routing, tasks may loop back to earlier stages or repeat certain steps based on feedback or validation requirements. Looping enables iterative refinement or validation of work items until specific criteria are met. Calculating and recalculating SASRIA and the reinsurance limits is an example of looping and iterative routing before acceptance. So flow routing also encompasses mechanisms for handling exceptions, escalations, or deviations from the standard workflow. If certain conditions are not met, or if tasks encounter errors, the workflow platform may trigger automated escalation, notification, or rerouting to address the issue. Throughout the flow routing process, stakeholders can track the progress of tasks, monitor their status, and identify bottlenecks or delays. The workflow platform often provides visibility into task routing, allowing users to analyze workflow performance and optimize processes for efficiency. Task assigning within the workflow container involves considering several key elements. Users are grouped into categories based on seniority and roles within the organization. For example, user seniority like an assistant or a clerk or a senior clerk, supervisor, and floor manager are defined within user groups assigned to tasks. Each group may have designated responsibilities within the workflow. Users are assigned to an administration hub, establishing a hierarchical structure within the organization. This hierarchy ensures clarity in task assignment and accountability. A separation of duty is clearly defined. Security groups determine user authorization to execute specific procedures. Workflow groups are linked to tasks within the workflow. Users are then assigned workflow groups based on their roles and responsibilities. If a user is on holiday, no work is assigned to them to ensure they can fully disconnect and enjoy their time off. However, if a user is mistakenly logged out, tasks continue to be assigned to the user until they become active again. And once they're unlocked, the pending tasks become available for action as assigned. Spawning a workflow from within a source workflow refers to the process of initiating or creating a new workflow instance based on certain conditions or events occurring within an existing workflow. This concept is often used in the workflow automation system to automate complex processes and streamline business operation. The spawning of a new workflow is typically triggered by a specific event or conditions occurring within the source workflow. These conditions could include the completion of a task, the arrival of new data, a user action, or a time-based event. Once the trigger event occurs, the system generates a new instance of the desired workflow. This new workflow instance inherits certain properties, parameters, or data from the source workflow, depending on the design and configuration of that workflow. Besides the inheritance from the parent flow, the child flow is linked for other forms of validation, checking, or automation. A spawned workflow may receive contextual information or data passed from the source workflow. This information helps determine the workflow's behavior, parameters, inputs required to execute its tasks effectively. The spawned workflow operates independently of the source workflow. Although there may be dependencies or interactions between them, Each workflow instance progresses through its own set of tasks and stages based on its unique inputs and conditions. Spawning a workflow from within a source enables automation of complex business processes that involve multiple steps, stakeholders, or systems. It allows organizations to orchestrate workflows dynamically and to respond to your changing needs or conditions in real time. This approach offers scalability by enabling the creation of multiple workflow instances in parallel or sequentially based on demand or workload. An example of a spawned workflow is where a claim job is created from within a main claim log so that you can have an assessor go out or a repairer, or a facultative reinsurance placing log is created from a new policy log until the FAC is in place. Customer relationship management and the benefits provided by an integrated platform are defined under streamlined processes. By automating and streamlining various tasks and processes, workflow can help CRM teams to work more efficiently. Tasks such as lead management, new policy quotes and activation, claims handling and follow-up activities can be managed seamlessly, ensuring smooth and consistent operations. With workflows designed to prioritize and respond to customer inquiries and requests in a timely manner, workflow can enhance the overall customer experience. Automated notifications, personalized responses, and efficient resolution of customer issues contribute to higher customer satisfaction and loyalty. The workflow platform serves as a centralized hub for managing your customer-related data, including contact information, interactions, policy history, preferences. This comprehensive view of customer data enables CRM teams to gain insights into customer behavior and preferences, facilitating more personalized and targeted communication and service delivery. Workflow automation capabilities allow for prioritization and assignment of tasks based on predefined rules and criteria. This ensures that critical customer-related tasks are addressed promptly and assigned to the appropriate team, reducing response times and improves overall efficiency. Workflow provides a robust tracking and reporting functionality, allowing CRM teams to monitor the progress of customer-related activities. They track key performance indicators and generate insightful reports. This visibility into workflow metrics and performance enhances continuous improvement and informed decision-making to optimize your CRM. So all of this comes back to the workflow master table. With its extensive attributes and parameters, serves as a vital component for tracking and managing workflow activities. Facilitating efficient process management and analysis within the platform, it enables a comprehensive flow and user history report, which further enables the business to analyze all aspects of your workflow. So key attributes is the data logs are opened, which is obvious, and the data logs closed. But every time the flow is modified, that is logged in terms of its modification and the date that it got modified. SQL procedures are activities designed to perform specific functions within a workflow. These activities encompass various functions tailored to streamline workflow processes. Some of the notable ones are: let's rate the policy, it re-rates the premium and the cover. It can either post a pending policy or an amendment to the active insured policy table, or it can add automated risks to the policy depending on the workflow design and requirements on predefined conditions. History codes are all the different flow events within the workflow. Some common history codes are the timer that's expired, when the system completes a task due to timer expiry, a completed task, or a reopened log, which signifies that a log is reopened to reactivation due to new requirements that may have come in. Completion codes define various options linked to the task completion. These range from the system completing the task or the user selecting a specific completion code to direct the task to its next destination task. Activity failure is when a database activity cannot perform its function due to outstanding conditions. The task completion returns this activity failure, which prompts the user to ensure required conditions are met and proceeding before they can proceed with the workflow. Each workflow activity is audited comprehensively, capturing user, date, time, event, history code, type, task, completion code, everything is audited. This comprehensive audit trail enables detailed analysis and insight into the workflow and its business processes. Here, a quick overview of all emails imported into the document management system for a period of, say, 3 months, the time of day it's happening, the user that's importing the emails, the days of week that it's happening, who's the top performer, for what type of claim category these emails are imported. This is just one quick overview of what can be achieved in terms of analysis. So workflow is the magic bullet. By leveraging workflow automation, insurers, UMAs, and mandated brokers can streamline their processes and reduce manual intervention, minimize errors, and ensure compliance with industry regulations. Moreover, a well-implemented workflow platform facilitates transparency and accountability across the insurance value chain. It enables real-time monitoring and continuous improvement through iterative refinements to that workflow. This adaptive approach ensures that insurance operations remain agile and responsive to the evolving market dynamics and customer expectations. It catalyzes the holistic improvement in business operations, paving the way for sustained growth and, most importantly, competitiveness in a dynamic insurance landscape. So workflow as a checklist is basically worthless. It has to be integrated and become an integral part of the line of business system. Red Barker, the CEO of Barker Insurance, a division of Hollard, has noted the following endorsement in terms of workflow. Since implementing TISCO at Barker's back in 2006, system workflows have become an essential ingredient in our overall efficiency, competitiveness, and success. Each business process across all the various insurance products Barker's has on offer has been carefully designed and built into our customized and unique TISCO insurance solution. Our process workflows guide our team step by step through each amendment, quote, claim, debit order, rejection, declaration, etc., and has automatic checks, balances, activities, print jobs, emails, SMSs, all built in to ensure that our administrators can work at high speed with confidence to ensure that critical steps are not missed out, with a full audit trail from start to finish. A truly world-class insurance administration system for brokers and insurers alike. So with integrated workflow, you can be a winner, like Ferrari turned it around, a previously failed strategy into a win at their home track at Monza. If you're at Tifosi, fantastic. As we come to the end of our journey through the world of workflow and its transformative impact on insurance, I want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude. It has been an incredible privilege to stand before you today and share insights into the innovative solutions shaping the industry and our future of our industry. Your engagement via CN&CO have truly made this experience unforgettable. I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to CN&CO and InsureTalk for providing the platform to exchange ideas, spark innovation, foster collaboration within our community. Your dedication to advancing the insurance landscape is commendable, and I'm honored to be part of this esteemed event today. As we leave this virtual stage, let us carry forward the spirit of innovation and collaboration that defines our industry. Let us continue to challenge the status quo, push boundaries, and create value for clients and stakeholders alike. Here's to a future filled with endless possibilities, fueled by the power of technology and driven by our shared vision of better and a brighter tomorrow. Let's dream, innovate, and let's dare to dream, dare to innovate, and dare to transform the world of insurance together until we meet again. Stay inspired, empowered, and above all, passionate about shaping the future of your industry. Thank you. Hamba kahle. Goodbye, tot ziens.
Thank you, Kurt. It was really insightful, and we appreciate you joining us at InsureTalk today. Now we have a very special speaker last on the agenda today, and normally he's the one sitting behind the camera. Llewellyn's going to talk to us about InsureTalk. And just a short update on where we're going with this, how it all came about, and what I believe makes us special. So, Llewellyn, I can't wait to hear what you have to say.
Thank you so much, Christelle. And first of all, thank you so much for being an amazing host for InsureTalk every single month. We can't do this without you. So yes, as Christelle mentioned, I just wanted to take a moment to celebrate our 4-year anniversary this year. So we're celebrating 4 years in the insurance industry since COVID hit back in 2021. We have changed the way that people have done their CPD training throughout the years, and we continuously try to grow this type of platform to make it more accessible, make sure that people reach their CPD targets throughout the year, and also bring amazing speakers and topics to the industry to make sure that people do their continued professional development throughout the year. Thank you so much for some of our amazing partners throughout the years. We can't do this without our sponsors and partners. We bring this to you free of charge, and we can only do this by having sponsors and partners and amazing speakers that prepare so much time by presenting on InsureTalk. Then also, thank you so much for the IISA. They have been our CPD partner throughout the years. So since the very first InsureTalk, when we picked up the phone and asked them, are you ready to do a webinar, and can we CPD accredit a webinar? Thokozile said, yes, let's try this and let's see where it goes. And we haven't stopped since. So thank you so much for the IISA. And then to our media partners, Cover, that started out the journey with us, Tony and his team. Thank you so much for bringing InsureTalk to the screens of people out there. And then also Rianette from FA News, our current media partner, for doing all the effort each month, bringing us media update and also making sure that we promote InsureTalk and reach more people every single month. We currently have an average of over 4,000 people that register for InsureTalk and make use of the insuretalk.co.za portal, which is amazing to see, because that means that people can be educated, entertained, and connect with each other no matter where they are. 2 or 3 months ago, Carl was a speaker on InsureTalk as well, and he literally spoke out of the back of an Uber. And he made it clear to say that is how easy it is to connect with InsureTalk, how easy it is to make sure that you reach your CPD goals and that you are compliant, but also connect with an industry. So don't have an excuse. Make sure that you register for InsureTalk. You can register for the full year of InsureTalk sessions now already and have it in your diary. So go to cn&coevents.com or cnandco.com, and you can register there for InsureTalk for the rest of the year. It's in your diary, it's there, you'll get the notifications, and also you'll get all of the mailers with the information from us as well. Then also, I would like to thank my team, Francois, Verona in the background, making sure that everything looks great and that all of our speakers are managed correctly. So thank you so much for the team doing so much work in the background and always being a team that we can rely on and making sure that InsureTalk takes place. So from my side, I just wanted to also update you. So a little bit of the history. We started back in 2021 with 80 people online, and we currently have about 4,000 people registered each month, as I said. And we're continuously looking to grow this platform. So we had our first InsureTalk Live in 2023, hosted at the venue in Melrose Arch with Bright as our headline partner. We're so happy to connect with Bright again and bring you InsureTalk Live 2024, which will be hosted in October this year, and we will release tickets for that soon. So keep an eye out on the CN&CO social media platforms, our website, and our mailers, as we will be releasing those tickets very soon. So please support the event and come and join us in person so we can see some of you in person and meet you. Then also, I would like to just mention that this is our 41st session. Amazing. I still can't believe it. 4 years later, 41 sessions. So never have we taken a break, being consistent, bringing great topics to you, and also bringing amazing speakers to your screens. We do have some partner slots available. And as I mentioned, we cannot do this without any partners on board. So please make sure that you email me. I'll put my email address in the chat box. If you are interested in supporting the InsureTalk team, is it with an entertainment session? Is it with a speaker opportunity that you would like to bring information to us, or become an event partner for the event? Please send an email to my email address and we can get in contact and make sure that we get in contact and share that information with you. Then also just a final reminder to go and register at insuretalk.co.za. All of your CPD certificates will be there. So we normally send out the CPD certificates 2 weeks after each event. Sometimes there is a delay, but we do send them out to your email address. And you can also keep an eye on the insuretalk.co.za portal. Your email address that you register for InsureTalk is your username, and you can utilize your own password. Or if you did forget your password or didn't get a password, you can always just select on forgot password to reset your portal, and you will be able to log in. This collects all of your certificates for InsureTalk sessions throughout the year. So make sure that you keep an eye on there and make sure that you download your CPD certificates and keep a record of that. We also keep an online record for your purposes. For those that are ISA members, you don't have to worry about printing out your email with a certificate or downloading your certificate. The ISA and the CN&CO team automatically match these registers. So if you are an ISA member, the process is even easier. You do absolutely nothing. If you are a member of any of the other institutes or need to supply your information to any other CPD accredited portals, please just download it from our portal and submit it to those various other portals. So that's me. Thank you so much for all of your support throughout the years. We will definitely not go away, and we look forward to an amazing 2024 and creating some more magic with you. So, Christelle, thank you so much, and I hand back over to you.
Okay, well, that was absolutely amazing. Thank you for doing that. I know you don't like being in front of the camera, so we really appreciate you giving us that update. So when we started out today, we spoke about the fact that this is our 4th anniversary, that we've changed fundamentally in how we do business, how we interact with our colleagues, our clients, and essentially how small the world has become. Today we would have people attending this conference from all over the African continent, which, by the way, we believe our conference is the biggest of its size on the continent. And there's this debate about virtual versus hybrid versus back to the office. And it's not an easy question to answer. What I like to celebrate is the fact that we now have choice. We can choose whether we want to attend a conference in person or we want to do it virtually. We can choose whether we want to do a quick meeting via Teams instead of getting onto a plane and going to Joburg. I believe our industry as a whole has become so much more inclusive. Prior to this, if you were based in Cape Town and you wanted to go to a conference, you had to be able to afford a flight, get on a plane, go to Joburg, make sure that you can afford the ticket to attend the event. So we have achieved something truly remarkable. And during difficult times is when you see true innovation happen. And I believe that is what the InsureTalk team managed to get right with this digital conference. In a time when everyone else was trying to figure out how are we going to deal with this, when are we going back to the office, this team said, let's change the way we do things. So from me, and on behalf of the industry, thank you to InsureTalk, CN&CO, Carl, Nalta, Llewellyn, all of you, for giving us something that is so unbelievably valuable. On that note, I'm out for the day. I'll see you next month. Thank you for joining us.